Hello everyone and welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, October 29th. I'm Dan Philgreen. On today's show, certified group instructor Lindy Smith visits with Heather Batty to talk about mirror image fitness. And Robyn Church will share with us some exciting specials for November at the Island Salon. Finally, resident Dee Horne will talk about the Fine and Performing Arts Concert Series, which kicks off with the National Dance Company of Siberia. But first, don't forget about the Oktoberfest dining outing tomorrow evening at Schnitzel House. It's a family-owned restaurant right here in Fort Myers. There you'll enjoy an excellent selection of German menu items, including 19 varieties of schnitzel to suit your taste. Also on the menu are several American favorites as well. The cost for the outing is $7 with dinner on your own, and court pickups will begin at 4:30 p.m. on the island. Looking ahead to next weekend, the annual Holiday Bazaar will be taking place at the Woodlands Commons on November 6th and 7th. Begin your holiday shopping with a unique treasure that you'll find at the bazaar. This year's event features handmade gifts crafted by Shell Point residents. Items include children's toys, jewelry, woodwork, pottery, fabric art, ornaments, book art, and much more. The annual Holiday Bazaar is sure to have something for everyone. So make your plans now to be at the Woodlands Commons from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days. Oh, and bring your shopping cart. Okay, it's time to sit up straight for this next segment. Hey, now wait a minute. How do you know when you're sitting up straight? Well, only your mirror image can truly show you. Your twin can give you a visual check in the mirror. For more on this lively, fun workshop, Heather Batty visits with group instructor Lindy Smith for a preview.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty with Resort Services, and today I'm here with a special guest. I am here with certified group instructor Lindy Smith.
Hello, Heather.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
So we are here to discuss your upcoming Health Connection program, and it is Mirror Image Fitness.
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me about that?
In the past, we've tried to be a little bit different in our approach to posture and movement, and I came up with this idea. It was very well received last time, where people actually work out with their twin in the mirror.
I love that.
It worked out great because sometimes we think we're sitting up straight, but actually we're not, and by having our workout partner in the mirror to cue us, then we can make some tiny adjustments and get used to the way that feels. Plus there's some exercise moves that we do to deploy certain muscles that need to be activated for leading an upright life.
Sure, and when you're actually watching your twin in the mirror, you can actually see your movements to make sure that you're doing them correct.
Right.
So is this a seated or a standing workout?
Well, we start off seated, and I do bring a lot of props, plus you've got great equipment in the room, and then there is some standing up involved if the individual wants to.
Okay. And then so you're the whole class, you're facing your mirror twin, and you're instructing the class also being in front of them and showing your mirror image as well. How does that work?
You know, I can't give away my secrets.
Oh, okay.
But you're on to me is that basically we start off not looking at the mirror, and then we turn around. So there is a big surprise because people think that they're moving a certain way, and when we do turn around, they realize the difference right then and there. There's an instant recognition of what we can be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you pointed out posture right away. I think that is certainly one of the first things to start happening is our posture starts to go until you actually pay attention and pull in your core and pull your shoulders back. Right. And I think that's important for all ages to be aware of.
All ages, especially active and not so active seniors, are being given computers and cell phones to keep up on Facebook and email with all their kids. And what I find is more and more of this, and it's an epidemic. Absolutely. And so what we do in this mirror image fitness is try to identify ways that we can control those muscles.
You know, you're right. You point out such a great thing. You know, everybody has their personal computers, their Kindles, iPhones. So we're constantly looking down. So we're always hunched over. I really think this class is going to be very well received, and it's certainly going to be helpful for all of our residents here. This Mirror Image Fitness, Here's Looking at You, is Tuesday, November 3rd. It's 9 a.m. at the Island Health Club, and it's only $8. What a great deal to be with our certified instructor here, Lindy Smith. So if you're interested, please call either service desk and sign up. Thank you so much, and thank you, Lindy, for joining me.
Thank you, Heather.
And stay happy and healthy.
And upright.
There's a celebration happening over at the Island Salon next month. And manager Robyn wants to tell you about the fantastic November specials they will be offering in observance of their 10-year anniversary.
Hi, my name is Robyn Church, and I'm the Salon and Spa Manager at Shell Point Salon and Spa. And today I'd like to just share with you some exciting specials we have in November to help celebrate our 10-year anniversary with all of you. One of the great specials is our specials for our facials. Our Collagen 90, if it's done in a series, which would be one a week for 5 weeks, the results are phenomenal. And if you do the series, you receive a free H5O cream or gel cream. And this would be over $100 value, free, for doing the series. Then we have the CC Spa, which if you do 4 of those, one a week for 4 weeks, you get a free Vital C plus peptide serum, which is fabulous on the skin. And for the Algo facial, if you do 4 of those, one a week for 4 weeks, you receive a free Hydromucin Optimal Cream, which is a $62 value. So this is a great way to really perk up your skin, get some good hydration. They're all anti-aging. The Algo is also soothing, great for rosacea skin or anyone that is a little more sensitive, which a lot of times people that are more sensitive, they are that way because they're dehydrated. Once we hydrate the skin the way it should be, they're not so sensitive anymore. So one of our skincare specialists can certainly analyze your skin and help determine which you are, whether you be sensitive or just sensitized because you're dehydrated. All of GM Collins is a cosmeceutical company, which we are FDA approved, which means that GM Collins products actually promote changes to the skin. FDA approval is only required when a product actually does make changes to the skin. Otherwise, they really don't need to be FDA approved. And a lot of the products in the drugstores are not FDA approved because they're really not making a change to the skin. They're just putting something on that outer layer. So if you'd like to make an appointment for these, just call the Island Salon. It's a great way, again, to really hydrate your skin and get some good home care, which is so important to promote the results and keep them going after you leave the salon. Thank you and have a great day.
It's Music in Motion as Shell Point presents the 13th annual concert series. To kick off the Fine in Performing Arts concerts, Horne is standing by to tell us all about the National Dance Company of Siberia that will take the stage at the Village Church Auditorium next Friday, November 6th. Direct from Russia, this spectacular show features stunning costumes, great choreography, precision dancing, and acrobatic strength. Here's Dee.
Hi, I'm Dee Horne. I'm a resident of Harbor Court and a friend of the arts. Music in Motion begins in November. Residents are encouraged to pick up the seasonal performance brochure and purchase your tickets at either the Island or Woodlands service desk, or go online at www.shellpoint.net/concerts. We start in November with the National Dance Company of Siberia on Friday, November 6th, 7:30 p.m. in the Village Church. Individual tickets are only $35 each, or save and buy the entire series and save $50. The proud people of Siberia have their own culture, literature, and art. And the National Dance Company of Siberia reveals the inspirational wealth of this nation as they express the wonderful nature of their land through choreography. The company was founded in 1960 and has been a success from the outset. The treasures of folk art, performed in Siberian dancers, are touched by the hand of artist Mikhail Godenko, a talented director and choreographer with creative imagination who founded the company and directed it until 1991. One of the most important elements in these scenic dances are the costumes. They combine vivid imagination with fine taste to help spectators imagine the world of Russia. The dance company's popularity is growing, having appeared in more than 60 countries and across the United States with their bright, energetic talent. Be sure to join me on Friday, November 6th, for the National Dance Company of Siberia. Thank you very much. I hope to see you at all the concerts this season.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy and I'm here to give you all of Thursday's activities. We start at 7:15 with a Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That's in the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock we have the Men's Golf Association meeting at the Shell Point Golf Club. Also at 8 o'clock, the Round Robin Doubles Tennis will be held at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Paddlers Club will be meeting at the Kayak Storage at 8:30 to leave for their weekly outing. At 9 o'clock, Samba the card game will be played in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. And Shuffleboard is available at 9:15 in the Shuffleboard Courts on the island. Current events will be discussed in the game room of the Woodlands at 9:30. And another 9:30 activity is ladies match play tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. We have introduction to line dancing at 9:45 in the Health Club on the island, and that's followed by basic line dancing at 10:15 in the Health Club on the island. We move to our afternoon, and our first activity is Mahjong at 12:45 in the Library Lounge on the island. At 2 o'clock, we have Get the Sweet Scoop about the Larson Pavilion. Also at 2 o'clock, the Stamp Ministry will be in the Stamp Room on the island. Christmas cantata rehearsal will be held in the choir room of the Village Church at 2:30. And then we move to 2:45 for a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Advanced. That's in the Health Club on the island and currently full. Our seamstress will be here for her weekly service at 4 o'clock in the Osprey Room on the island. And at 4:30, Alcoholics Anonymous will be meeting in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. At 6:30, Pinochle will be played in the Library Lounge on the island. And we round out our Thursday with Trailblazers Bible Study at 7 o'clock in the game room of the Woodlands. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Thursday. At 9 o'clock, a holiday writers workshop will take place in the Buttonwood Room of the Woodlands for those who signed up. At 1 o'clock, Writing with David Singer will continue in the Buttonwood Room of the Woodlands. At 1 o'clock, Mahjong Basics continues in the Country Kitchen on the second floor at the Arbor. At 1:15, New Life for Old Computers will take place in the Technology Teaching Center of the island, and sign-up is required. Tomorrow we have Feast of Photos, Iceland and Greenland, Coffee with a Neighbor with Gerald Langberg.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is veal scallopini with tomato cream, penne, and asparagus. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $13.95, and the soup of the day is black bean. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a chicken provolone with roasted peppers and red onion panini with chips for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are ribeye with onion confit for $19.95 or halibut for $18.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. Thursday, May the 2nd, 1957, finally dawned. Just 19 years old, I was leaving England for New York, on the Queen Mary no less, en route to Chicago for Bible college. At the docks in Southampton, the massive vessel loomed above us. I took a few photos, checked in, and said goodbye to my parents, grandparents, and siblings. And that was hard, as we were close. It would be 4 years before I would see them again. A porter took my steamer trunk and suitcase to cabin D-77. Walking up the gangway and onto the ship, I found myself in a maze of wood-lined corridors, staircases, shops, restaurants, and cabins. Before long, the tugs took up position, the sailors cast off the mooring ropes, and slowly, oh so slowly, the great vessel inched away from the dock and headed out to sea past the Isle of Wight, heading initially for France. Entering service in 1936, the Queen Mary was designed to be the first of Cunard's two-ship weekly express service from Southampton to Cherbourg in France and on to New York and back, in fierce competition with the continental European superliners. She made an impressive debut, soon completing the voyage across the Atlantic in record time, 5 days, 5 hours and 13 minutes, thus earning the coveted Blue Ribbon Trophy for the fastest transatlantic crossing. The Queen Mary's statistics were impressive. With 24 lifeboats and 12 decks, she was over 1,000 feet long and weighed over 81,000 tons, carrying almost 2,000 passengers and nearly 1,200 officers and crew. Her 4 propellers were 20 feet in diameter, weighing 35 tons each, the shafts rotating at 200 times per minute. Traveling at 33 miles per hour, the massive ship consumed 1 gallon of fuel for every 13 feet. Before I knew it, the shoreline of France appeared on the horizon. And soon thereafter, aided by a small fleet of tugs, we pulled very slowly into the docks of Cherbourg. 2 years previously, I had promised God I would return to France in his service if he ever opened up the door. And here I was, back in France, so to speak, but heading 4,000 miles west to Chicago to prepare for an eventual return to France as a pastor. The 3 young men sharing my cabin were congenial without becoming friends for life. I had a lower bunk, and I nailed my colors to the mast, as my father used to say, sitting there and reading my Bible early in the mornings and hoping it would generate some interest on their part. It never did. Anyway, I remember reading Psalm 139. If I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. I knew God would take care of me on the far side of the sea. Given the opportunity to explore the enormous ship, I spent very little time in my cabin, which was very small and had no porthole. Moreover, day and night, the 4 great propeller shafts would grind away, so it was never really quiet down there. I admired the Art Deco architecture and paneling, light fixtures, glasswork, and rails, while exploring the ballrooms and the restaurants and the shops and the library and the magnificent staircases. The decor comprised 56 different types of wood, 3 of which are now extinct. The restaurant, even in 3rd class, had to be experienced to be believed. The menu, a single folded affair with a beautiful picture on the outside, contained a fabulous list of items available with no prices listed, since every expense on the voyage had been covered by my investment of £63 for the ticket. 4 days out to sea, I had seen neither a bird or another ship, when suddenly I caught a glimpse of a seagull. Later, a small boat appeared. It carried the pilot who had come from Nantucket Island to guide the great ship up the mouth of the Hudson River and eventually to its mooring in Manhattan. On Tuesday, May the 7th, 1957, I went up to the deck very early. Through the morning haze, I spied a skyscraper, and the adventure began in earnest. I installed myself in a wonderful spot on the first-class sun deck, quite close to Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, who was one of the passengers on board. Very slowly we passed the Statue of Liberty on our left, a gift from the people of France. The sun was bright now under a cloudless sky, and the estuary deep blue and calm. Before us rose the architectural marvel of Manhattan. And at 12:15 p.m., the Queen Mary finally docked alongside Pier 90, North River, at the foot of West 50th Street. I had arrived in the United States of America. An immigration officer checked my documents and student visa, confirming that all the paperwork was in order. Next, I was ushered into the presence of a student advisor, a kindly woman who informed me that she was a graduate of Chicago's Moody Bible Institute. She gave me details of the landing procedure. And finally, I was free to walk down the gangway onto the dock, but I still had to clear my luggage through customs. The agent asked me if all my baggage was personal. I answered in the affirmative, but he made me open my case anyway. The first item he saw was a large Bible. Quickly he closed the case and he marked it, examined. I was a free man in New York. And so I settled on the far side of the sea. Year after year I sensed that the hand of God was on my life, guiding me and holding me fast as the psalm had promised. 12 years later, with 2 young sons in tow, my wife Nancy and I were heading back to Europe to take up pastoral ministry in Lyon, France. Those verses came to life again. If I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. Little wonder then that when the time came to celebrate 50 years of God's guidance and care, in 2007, Nancy and I made a pilgrimage to visit the grand old ship in California. Retired from service in 1967, the Queen Mary had finally been moored at Long Beach and converted to a luxury hotel and museum. What a thrill to walk the decks, visit the staterooms, see the captain's quarters, and check out the bridge with its shining brass instruments. Nowadays, when I make hospital visits to Shell Point friends, I often read Psalm 139 to them, with its reassuring message concerning God's care. Just listen to this. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before you lay your hand upon me. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. All the days for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. If I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. Amen and amen. So what does the song say? If the Father's eye is on the sparrow, then surely he will care for you. Why not take a few moments today to look back over your life story and thank God for how He has cared for you. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
And that's going to wrap things up for the Thursday edition of Shell Point Today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow when we'll take the opportunity to laugh at ourselves by showing you some of the outtakes and bloopers of our theatrical promo for the Hoedown that aired all last week. And we'll recap the top stories from this week. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, October 29th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and on behalf of everyone here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.